Chapter 1, Article 1 of the UN Charter states that the main objective of the United Nations is to maintain international peace and security. The United Nations organization was established mainly with the purpose of preventing the outbreak of new potential conflicts, as well as resolving ongoing conflicts by peaceful means. Since the 1950s, peacekeeping operations have been a UN strategy to be adopted alongside the usual collective measures, essential for the maintenance of international peace and security. The UN has no standing army or police force of its own, and all peacekeeping operations are carried out by troops voluntarily provided, in accordance with ad hoc arrangements, by member states willing to contribute to each operation. Peacekeeping operations are not supposed to be coercive missions, but are based on three important principles: the consent of the parties involved in the conflict, impartiality, and the use of force only in self-defense. Under the United Nations Charter, the Security Council is the only organ of the United Nations that has primary responsibility for maintaining international peace and security, and the power to authorize the use of force in order to achieve preset goals. Under Chapter 7, the Security Council decides what coercive measures member states shall apply to maintain or restore international peace and security, while Chapter 6 regulates the pacific settlement of disputes. Furthermore, in 1989, new peacekeeping operations began deploying civilian staff, thus promoting the use of preventive diplomacy, intended as a means for resolving tensions and crises before they escalate. Preventive diplomacy consists in the work of diplomatic envoys dispatched to crisis areas to encourage dialogue, compromise, and the peaceful resolution of tensions. UN peacekeepers work to maintain peace through preventive military action, peacemaking operations able to bring hostile parties to agreement through diplomatic means, peacekeeping operations aimed at eliminating conflicts and assisting host countries navigate the difficult path from conflict to peace, or peace enforcement missions, whose goal is to restore international peace, including the application of a range of coercive measures in the event of a threat to the peace. Maintaining international peace also means carry out a series of post-conflict actions designed to prevent the start or resumption of violent conflict by creating a sustainable peace. It is about peace-building operations consisting of international financial aid and technical cooperation. The foreign policy of the Italian government has always supported the role of the United Nations within the international community, accepting and promoting its measures. Italy's engagement in peacekeeping missions throughout the world has long been part of the country's foreign policy. It began in the 1960s with its participation in a series of UN missions, where it made a significant contribution in terms of human life. The first operation, engraved in Italy's collective memory, is undoubtedly the Congo mission carried out between 1960 and 1962, followed by the UN operations conducted in Somalia, Mozambique, and the most recent in the Balkan region, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Over the years, Italy has worked hard for the maintenance of worldwide peace. The Italian armed forces still contribute to the reconstruction and peace consolidation of war-torn countries, and they will continue to do so over the next few years. Moreover, the Italian Air Force is playing an increasingly central role in the peace process in terms of both research and training activities. And there is more. Within this extremely difficult operating framework, our soldiers play a crucial role as they are an essential part of the mediation process. Besides the engagement in international peacekeeping outside national borders, among the activities of the Italian Air Force, the interventions on the community's behalf are of paramount importance. In addition to assistance when aircraft accidents occur, these activities include humanitarian air transport, cooperation in the event of public calamities, in coordination with the Italian Civil Defense Department, as well as the entire range of search and rescue missions, even in hostile territories. The Air Force is able to carry out these interventions throughout the year, 24 hours a day, with crews and helicopters ready to take off at a very short notice, day and night, and in all weather conditions. The deployment of HH-139, HH-3F, and AB-212 helicopters provides the effective search and rescue coverage of the Italian peninsula and territorial waters, Malta's territorial waters included, ensuring that within a few minutes a helicopter is able to take off and reach the scene of the emergency. Thanks to the training level of its crews and the features of its aircrafts, very often the Italian Air Force is the only component that can successfully handle the most complex emergencies. For example, in the event of highly infectious patients that need to be transported in a special biocontainment stretcher called ATI, Aircraft Transport Isolator. Indeed, along with the Royal Air Force, the Italian Air Force is the only military air organization in Europe capable of performing such operations. It is essential, therefore, that the Italian Air Force reveal its valiant contribution to citizens. The Air Force's ongoing engagement in international peacekeeping as a fundamental part of the mediation process and humanitarian missions is one of the most significant manifestations of its commitment towards the national and international community. The objective of this dissertation is to familiarize people with the Italian armed forces and with the Italian Air Force in particular, and I hope it will help them learn more about and appreciate this reality about which too little is known.